Hey guys, it's Maite. Welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to go over the infamous, the one and only meal planner by Carrie Elle. Now this meal planner has been everywhere all over the years. This is the most comprehensive meal planning system that you could possibly buy on the market right now. We're going to do a close-up flip through of this planner today. I'm going to show you everything inside of this awesome tool. And then as always, I'm going to share who I think this would benefit the most because it is an extra planning tool. It is an extra expense if you're thinking about getting one of these for 2021 to start the year off on a fresh new start. But before I get into that, I just want to say that I'm going to be talking about meal planning a lot more on this channel because I think it is so integral to home management. What people in your home are eating at all hours of the day, planning meals 3 times a day, plus snacks. I mean, it can just get really overwhelming sometimes. So if you're interested in content like that, more organization content, home management content, you're going to want to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you won't miss an upload from me. I will be doing meal planning as a part of my productive planning series in January as well. That's going to be a live webinar type series that I'm going to be doing on my YouTube channel. So you're not going to want to miss out on any of that. So make sure to hit the subscribe button and let's jump into it. Okay, so this planner here is 8.5 by 11, so this is standard US letter size. There is also a 7 by 9 size. Larger size that I have here retails for $55, and I believe that the 7 by 9 retails for $46. Both sizes are eligible for free shipping on her website. I will leave that information down below. So I have one of the cover options here. This is the floral option. The covers are not removable. So when you open up the book, you do get a little nameplate down here. It says this book belongs to you. And then the cover page, first we eat, then we do everything else. Before I jump into what's inside the planner, this meal planner also comes equipped with really sturdy Mylar tabs for resources, inventory, meal plan, gathering, and notes. And the coil of this planner is really nice and sturdy. It's not wire bound. It's a traditional coil, which I'm seeing less and less of nowadays actually, but it's a nice sturdy silver coil. So the first tab is resources. This is just on a divider that kind of reminds me of notebook paper. And this is the first page. So you have favorite websites, favorite meal planning, blogs, and recipe sites. So this is really handy to have in the front of your meal planner because you don't have to scroll all the way up and down your Pinterest board. Sometimes you pin things, but you don't really know what the website was and you want to go back. And so this is like a really quick way to gather all of those digital resources that you have and put them in paper format. Now all of these pages here are perforated, so you can absolutely rip this out, punch it in somewhere else if you would like, or you can rip it out, put it somewhere else that's more accessible to you. You get 2 of these front and back. And then you also have a section for favorite recipes and recipes to try. So you get 4 of these pages front and back, and that's also really helpful because you can reference these while you're meal planning without having to rack your brain of which were favorites or leafing through older meal plans in separate places. So you can just keep all of the family hits in this section here. There's also a measurement conversion section with a little bit of like a side for notes. So here is just standard measurements that you can see and temperatures, etc. And on the other side of that, you have popular baking substitutions. So if you are low on something and you're not sure what to substitute it for, you can quickly reference this. Or if you have some dietary restrictions, you can quickly reference this as well. So that's just a little bit of a time saver. Next up, we have inventory, and this is my favorite part of this planner. So you have freezer inventory, where you have room to put the item and the date that you froze it. So you have 5 pages worth of freezer inventory, which is great. You also have pantry inventory on this lovely floral background. And you also have the expiration date and the item as well. So you have 4 of these pages to front and back. And you also have the spice inventory. So you have item and then your expiration date, and you get 2 of these, 1 page front and back. Then we get into the nitty-gritty of the meal plans themselves. So you do get 12 months of meal planning. Again, these are all perforated and these are undated. So you can start this planner whenever you want. If you are motivated to revamp your planning system now, there is no need to wait until January to do that. So you have a space to write the month, and it is a Sunday start. So it does run from Sunday through Saturday. And you get a section on the bottom for notes. You can note what your family liked, what they didn't, what worked this month for meal planning, what did not. And so you have the month, and then you have the weekly menus. So you get 5 weekly menus per month. So the grocery list color coordinates with the color of the month. So then we get to this month that's green, and then the grocery lists are green as well. So let's zoom into what the grocery list has. You have weekly menu and a grocery list side. The divider between the grocery list and the weekly menu is perforated. So if you want to rip this whole thing out, you can. If you just want to rip out the grocery list, you can do that. These spaces are blank, so you can write down whatever you want here, not necessarily breakfast, lunch, dinner. I know she used to have it set up that way, but now it's just blank and completely up to you how you want to fill it out. Which also means that you can also shift the days of the week. So let's say you prefer to plan Friday to Friday, Monday to Monday. You can completely tailor this to your family's needs. And of course, you also have a space for the date. So this runs like this for 12 months. So I'm just showing you the colors of the months. This is the 3rd month, 4th. So you are completely covered for the entire year. That one's pretty. And then we get to gatherings, because we all know that when you have people over, events, holidays, your meal plan always changes and what you need to have on hand changes. So this is how this page is set up. You have the grocery list, which again, you can rip out, and you have a space to write the event, appetizers, side dishes, main course, desserts, drinks, kids, and any extra supplies that you may need. So you get 11 of these pages. At the very end, you get a notes section, the sparkly header at the top, and you have just a couple note pages in the back to write down any notes. And then you have a double-sided paper pocket, and then the back cover. All right, so what do I absolutely love about this? I love that this planner solves the inventory issue, because I have tried to track this digitally and I just haven't found something that I've liked. So I've just been relying on what's in my brain, which for the most part has worked for me, but that's because I don't have like a massive amount of inventory to tackle, but it is still quite a bit. And so I love that you have a place to write all of that down, especially if you have separate freezers or you want to go and meal plan in a place that you don't want to have to constantly get up, open the freezer or open the pantry and constantly see what you have and what you don't have. Obviously, keeping a running tally of items that are perishable can be a little tricky because you have to like cross it off and then put it back on again. So for example, I'm constantly buying like the same similar meats and freezing them. So let's say I had 4 chicken breasts, I would have to cross that off and then buy it again and then put 4 chicken breasts again. So it's just constantly updating this inventory section. And especially nowadays where I think a lot of us are keeping a little bit more inventory than usual, I think this is a great section for a meal planner. What I also love about this planner is I think just the concept in general of having this separate planner for meal planning is that there is a benefit to separating meal plans. I've always used the meal planner in my planner, just tracking those meals. I know a lot of us have as well. But the benefits of keeping it separate are, for example, if you have older kids and you want them to be more involved in the meal planning process, or your partner, then if you have this book on display in the kitchen, they can see what's coming up for meals. Maybe you can have them add to the front recipes that they want to try. It can be kind of more of a communal effort instead of all of it falling on you. And if you're very possessive about your planner and you're very particular about what's written in it and how it's written in your planner, and you always have your planner with you, that's going to be a little bit more difficult for everybody else to participate in the meal planning process and like the feeding the family process, if that's something that you want to do. The other benefit about keeping meal plans separate is that it really, really helps in terms of planning a lot of weeks in advance. This was designed for any type of meal planner. However, having this all together in one book, as well as access to the calendar, you can just take this book and any cookbooks or any other resources and just sit down and do a month at a time if you wanted to, even more, 2 weeks at a time, month at a time. It's so much easier to do because everything's in front of you. You have all of your resources. You have everything that's in your freezer, your pantry. If you didn't tear it out, you have all of the weekly menus that you did already make, so you can easily just flip back and forth and see if any meals that you didn't use will carry on to the next week, etc., etc. As opposed to in your planner, you would have to shift through all of the other information that you have in there. Which brings me to my next point, which is, who is this planner for? Because as I mentioned at the beginning, it is $55. It is definitely an investment in your organization system because it is an extra tool. I would almost argue that this is for two polar opposite people. I think it's going to be for the people who absolutely love meal planning, are looking for a way to kind of reward themselves for their efforts, and the people who are super into freezer meals, batch cooking. You know, they have 4 freezers, they can their own foods, like maybe they run a food blog, like this is like their jam, then absolutely this is 100% for them. I also think it's for the camp of people who hate meal planning and are really just struggling with it and not having a good time, are constantly asking what's for dinner. They're a little bit disorganized in that area, and it's really getting to them because, again, like feeding your family 3 times a day now, including snacks, I mean, it's just an uphill battle. And I think we're all feeling the fatigue of the what's for dinner question. I know I am 100%. I'm working on a very ambitious meal planning project for next year, so you're definitely going to want to stay tuned for that. Actually, like this video if you are interested in that, because I cannot wait to share that with you guys. But anyways, we're all feeling it, but I definitely think that this would be a very helpful tool for someone who needs a little bit more help in that department, because it does make it so much easier to just look at all of these things at once. It's fun. It makes meal planning more fun. And again, you can get more people involved in the process, and everything is in one place for you. So it's a little bit less of a uphill battle to meal plan on a weekly basis. And it might even inspire you, because it's so much easier to plan in a book like this, to plan a month at a time, and that's going to be mentally a lot less taxing than planning a week at a time. But you guys know I am super honest with you guys when it comes to organization tools and buying all the things. You have a meal planning system that works for you in your current planner, and you are on it. You know what's on the docket every week in terms of meals. You're saving money on your grocery bill. You have everything in one place, and it's easier for you to take that planner on the go. You don't need this. I don't think you would need this if that system's really working for you. But if you want to up your meal planning game, you want to get better at meal planning larger chunks of time, you want to get into freezer meal cooking, batch cooking, you have a lot of inventory on hand, then this is 100% the tool for you, and I highly, highly, highly recommend it. I don't have any cons when it comes to this planner. The one thing I will say is that from a design perspective, because these meal planners are so popular, I wish that the covers were removable. And I think it would be really cute to be able to customize them. Obviously, I know that would take a lot of back end work. I don't see why there's no reason why you couldn't pop on a removable cover from another brand if you wanted to change it out. I actually am gonna do that, but I kept this cover on to show you guys. The paper is also super nice, very thick and really nice to the touch. So I really don't have anything bad to say about this meal planning tool. It's a very functional tool. Carrie pretty much thought of everything that you could possibly need when it comes to planning meals for you and your family. So if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up so I know you like content like this. Let me know in the comments down below if this is something that is on your radar for 2021. I'm very interested to know how many of you guys already own something like this or want to buy something like this for next year, like if this is on your wish list, because there's not that many of these types of tools out there. So let me know in the comments down below, and as always, I will catch you in my next one. Bye guys.